Morning, Lou. So we know that all over Florida, there will be enough doses to vaccinate 90,000 people. And thousands of them will be coming here. They're set to get here at 10:30 at UF Health Jacksonville. And then the first people are expected to get vaccinated about an hour after that. So who will those first people be? Well, we know that there will be staff who have volunteered to get the vaccine. A UF Health spokesperson says frontline workers and other staff members have been told to sign up through a portal. The vaccine has to be stored at about 95 degrees below zero, which UF Health has been prepping for weeks. You have to get 2 doses of it to be effective. That means more than 89,000 people will be vaccinated in Florida. Closer to 180,000 doses are being delivered. So 97,500 doses will go to hospitals, 82,000 to nursing homes and assisted living facilities, and CVS and Walgreens will be helping to distribute the shots there. So we spoke with the doctor in charge of the local Pfizer vaccine trials at Jacksonville Center for Clinical Research, and he says this is a big step that feels really gratifying.
Between the Pfizer and the Moderna studies, we've dosed over 750 people. Kudos, by the way, to our First Coast population. Lots of people have volunteered.
We will be there when the first vaccines are given here at UF Health, really witnessing history. But of course, the general public will not be able to get these vaccines until later in the spring or even the summer. We're live outside UF Health. Renata DiGregorio, First Coast News, on your side.